Hi BookTube, my name's Nadine and welcome back to my channel. Today I would like to talk to you about a book that I listened to in September, and that is Zombie CSU by Jonathan Maberry. So this is zombie non-fiction, which is something I must have secretly wanted all my life because I really enjoyed it. So it takes as its basis what the author thinks is the most likely case of zombie outbreak, which would be an escapee from an experimental place. And from there, he looks at what are the most likely outcomes, what's going to happen in the real world in the event of a zombie outbreak. So to do this, he speaks to law enforcement, he speaks to people that work in the legal industry, he speaks to journalists. In films we see all these headlines, the dead walk and all that. Are they the sort of headlines that we could actually expect to see? What kind of reporting would be taking place if this was happening? Would there be a big emphasis on not actually panicking the population, or is it more important to get the message across? So it was really, really interesting. I particularly liked things like, when he was talking to people that worked in law enforcement, things that I hadn't considered before. So like in films, you'll often see like police taking shots at zombies or criminals or whatever, and they'll shoot them in the arm to incapacitate them or shoot them in the leg. And this guy that he spoke to was like, well, actually, no, that's not what we're trained to do. If we are taking a shot, we're taking them down. It's not up for negotiation. If it's gotten to that stage, they're dead. And so he also looks at pop culture and talks about films and books that we've heard of, and also provides some lists of things that may not be as popular but that's worth a watch or a read. My only downside really is I think that this book was originally written about 10 years ago, and I'm assuming that the audiobook's only been released in the last few years, or like last year I think maybe. And a lot's happened in this last decade. In terms of pop culture, you've got the explosion of zombiedom that came with The Walking Dead. And let's face it, zombies are a lot more popular now than they were 10 years ago. And I mean, they were popular then, but I mean, there's Disney movies now about zombies. My daughter loves those, and she's 5. So, it could have done with a little bit of an update there in terms of pop culture, but also the events of the last few years with the coronavirus. I think there could have been like a chapter added on about that. I mean, the author talks about how the governments would react if there is a viral outbreak. And actually now, having lived through an outbreak of something, I think we can all bring our own experiences to it, and perhaps we've all got our own opinions on how the government would deal with things, or how the world's governments would deal with each other if something as catastrophic as the zombie apocalypse were to happen. So yeah, overall, really, really enjoyed it. As I said, I audiobooked this. The audiobook was really good, and I found myself wanting to do chores more so that I could listen to it. But I think I'm going to hunt down a physical copy too, because I can see it being the sort of book that I would reach for and just flick through and find certain passages and stuff. So yeah, definitely would recommend. If you're into your zombies like I am, give it a go. Okay, that is it for this review. If you've read it and your opinions are different, let me know down below, and it'll be really interesting to see what you thought of it. Or if you've got any other recommendations for zombie non-fiction. Not something I've searched up before. So yeah, that is it today, guys. Bye!